Okay, lovely people of the chat. If you can hear us or see us, would you mind giving us a big hi, Lucy? Hi, Hugh.
Well, actually, I'm on YouTube and I can't see it yet.
Oh, no.
Maybe I'll do the theme tune. I think it is working.
Cool.
Although I'm not getting it on on our channel.
Cool.
Yes, I am.
We are.
Here we go.
Fantastic. I'm going to go back to that view though because that's lagging. Right. Okay, I'm going to start officially now.
Yes. I'm going to start with Chris's theme tune. I'm just doing the harmony. We'll piece all that together.
Yeah. Quality broadcasting. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans. It is just the two Rains today. Unfortunately, our co-host Chris, the one who does all the good tech, is currently laid up with a torn hamstring. We really hope he gets better soon because that's a painful one. But he was unable to drive from the other wing of the house, so here we are, alone again.
Not even drive. He couldn't walk down the stairs and meet us in our communal kitchen.
No. So we apologise in advance for any ropey technology. He's the expert. We are the mere protégés, but we will do our best. So we're going to get on, minus the bongs, with our DLP news segment.
We've got our own bongs. There we go.
Okay.
I'm just moving the camera ever so slightly. Right, here's the bongs, and here is the news. With Halloween over, Christmas decorations are beginning to appear at Disneyland Paris.
Annual passes experience their first price increase since reopening after the COVID closure.
Temporary food chalets have appeared in Place Remy ahead of the return of the Winter Food Festival. Idéal Gourmand. I don't know.
And that's it.
Is that what it was called?
Hiver Gourmand. I don't know if you sound the H or not. I was never good at French at school.
Okay. I don't remember it being called that.
It's basically the Winter Food Festival. It's called other places. And that's it, guys. Other things have happened. Mainly, Halloween happened. And the bonfire night fireworks happened, both of which we can talk about. But it's not technically news because it's old. If it's in the past, that's what it is, isn't it? As far as what's coming up in the future and what's been happening.
Archival information.
Yeah. So what we've got today is we're going to take a slight advantage of Chris not being here. Sorry, Chris. To have a little chat about our August visit.
He is here. He's in the chat.
He is.
He's been bonging for us.
He's going to be asking us questions. A little chat about our August visit to Village Nature, because we've talked about that trip in various different angles. We've done dining shows, we've done trip reviews, but we've never talked about the resort itself, and there's a lot to say. So we're going to have a chat about that between us, aren't we? Mm-hmm. We're also going to discuss the news. We've got a couple of other little tidbits for you, so hang around.
Tidbits.
If you've got an appetite for tidbits,
that's better.
Hang around, because tidbits will be aplenty. So let's get chatting.
But not tidbits.
Who's in the chat? I can just see two people in the chat. I think it's because the new Chris wasn't here. They didn't want to join.
Tidbits is what happens when a lady eats something crummy and it drops onto her chest.
Huey.
Is that allowed?
I don't know. It adds flavour to the crumbs, doesn't it?
We're going to be demonetised. Not that
will we ever monetised?
No, but you know, retrospectively, this now can never make any money. This video.
We've got a new live viewer. Beth is viewing for the first time.
Yeah, Chris is in there. Obviously, we've got Mark Riley's in there. It just seemed to be those two back and forth for a while. Now we've got Beth.
And Beth is saying that she's been listening to all the back episodes in the last few weeks. Oh, I'm sorry for some of the first ropey ones. But
they were better.
Your first DLP trip is leaving this Thursday. That always makes me so excited. Whenever somebody tells me they've got a trip coming up, I get unreasonably excited, really, for someone else's lives. But when it's your first one, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's going to be so magical. Isn't it going to be good? Is it just you, Beth? Do you have family? Do you have children? Because that adds a slight different flavour to it, along with the crumbs.
Well, we will await her reply.
Mark simply says Lucy's face. I'm not sure how to take that. I'm not sure what my face was doing when you typed that. So I'm going to move swiftly on. Right, Halloween is over now. But
it's Beth and her partner Dan.
Oh, fantastic. Adult trip. So you get to taste some glow-teenies and stay up late for fireworks and things. Oh no, the fireworks won't have started, will they? When do the fireworks start? Is it the 20-something of November? I only told you this last week. I've already forgotten. How bad's that?
Mark says so far it's a crummy show.
Oh, thank you.
Because of the crumbs.
Yeah.
The tidbits.
Okay. I don't think I've got any at the moment. Yeah, sorry, Beth. Apparently no fireworks yet. You're going to miss them by a hair, aren't you? However, there have been fireworks this weekend for the bonfire weekend. They call it Mickey's Magical Fireworks, I believe. Weirdly, they didn't have them on the 5th. They had them on the 2nd, the 4th, and they're having them on Tuesday, which is the 9th. But it's been good. They've been live streamed, and it's been really good to see some fireworks back at Disneyland Paris, and just well gels for all those doing it. I believe it was mainly fireworks as opposed to projections, etc. I'm yet to watch the live streams, I'll be honest, but it's just good they're there, isn't it? It's good. But now Halloween is over. They've had their party, which apparently was nearly rained off after not having it for 2 years. They managed to do a limited experience. They had some fantastic meet and greets. They had the final show. They've been having the parade go on. But now that's gone.
Do you know you're saying they got some good meet and greets? They could do something with food called meats and grits. Where they've like a selection of meats and grits. What are grits?
It's made of sweet corn. You wouldn't want them.
No, but some people might like it. So
it's like porridge. It's ground up cornmeal.
Disney meats and grits. Get on that, Disney. It's a good idea.
And we will not partake or give you any of our money, but other people may do if that is their taste.
Chris does want me to do the Tiki Cup song to see if I know the words.
Okay.
So yeah, we've normally got a jingle for this, if you knew, but it goes something like this. Ole! In the tiki 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 cup, in your tiki 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 cup, well, you make yourself a beverage and drink it up from your tiki 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 cup. I said the instead of your, but come on, you can let me off there, Chris.
Ooh.
Ole!
Does he lose marks for that?
No, but it's double strength blackcurrant. Right. Let's crack on, because we are just waffling.
Yeah. So there's Christmas decorations. They've got the tree up in the courtyard of Hotel New York. Now, they're not doing the ice skating there, or at least they've not announced they're doing it, and there's no visible sight of them putting a rink down. And all previous Christmases, there's been an ice skating rink in front of Hotel New York. So I'll be interested to see if that transpires. But there is a tree. There's lights around the bus station area. You've got some Christmas displays in the windows of Main Street. And since I looked at the photos of this, they've probably started putting garlands up. I think it's by the end of the week, it will be the Christmas season. So stuff's happening. And it's getting me to that point where, again, I regret not booking a Christmas trip. And I always leave in the back of my mind, I did the same in 2019, that we might do a last minute Christmas trip. We kept it as a possibility then as well, because we had annual passes both years. And we just didn't, and we haven't so far. And looking at our diaries, it's unlikely. So we're relying on anyone we know out there who is going this Christmas to come back, give us trip reports. We'll read them out. You can be our eyes and ears in the park.
Yes, our Mickey ears, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
our Mickey ears and our Eisner, our Michael Eisner's.
Good.
Yeah.
I looked at you for wit, and you
and I gave you.
You were thoroughly disappointing.
I gave you something else that rhymes with that.
Okay. Okay, talking of annual passes, they have increased the price of the annual passes. This isn't really a surprise. It's been 3 or 4 years since the prices were increased, might even be longer than that. I was fully expecting one when they came back after the closure, and they were doing a lot of muddling around with how people were renewing passes. I thought they'd increase it then, they didn't. And the news isn't too tragic. They've increased them all by either £30 or £40. The Discovery has gone up euros. The Discovery Pass has gone up €30 to €209. Now that's the pass that I don't know why anyone would get it. It only has 150 days a year when you can use it. The rest are blacked out. You don't get parking included. You have to pay €60 extra for parking included. So if you come in more than twice, you may as well just do that. And that makes it nearly the price of the next one up. And you don't get any discounts. So I don't know who's saving money on doing their Discovery Pass, but it's there. It exists. You then have the Magic Flex Pass, which has gone up €40 to €299. The Magic Plus, which is the one that we have, which has gone up €30 from €329. And the Infinity Pass, which has gone up €30 to €479. So not too bad. I mean, every little helps. But we were expecting it. It was coming, and it's basic inflation. I'd like to say that you could see where your money's going, but it's just going into increased running costs, as everything else is. Also to note is the price of privilege tickets. It has gone up slightly. Privilege tickets are, if you are an annual pass holder, you can take a friend into the park with you and just pay for a single day ticket at a discounted price. And they've now split those between peak and off-peak days. So there is a calendar on the Disney website of which days are peak and off-peak. But that means that the off-peak has only gone up €2, but the on-peak has got... On-peak? Peak has gone up, €17. So I think they're just discouraging the park from being overly busy and rammed on those peak times. Right, I've been chatting about boring number things. So...
Hi, Caitlin Jackson.
Hi, Caitlin Jackson.
Long time listener and contributor.
And it's not often she's live, but she's live today.
Popped into the chat. Chris said that Laura accidentally... gave away, because they're keeping it a secret from the boys. No. She said, as he says in the chat, and in February we're going to Disney. And then she stopped herself, but the boys didn't notice. They didn't notice.
Kids are so stupid, aren't they?
Don't say that. Although I do miss the days when I could literally buy Bonnie a present and just have it in a bag and carry the bag, and she'd never think to go, "What's in the bag?" Or I could just sort of hold it high above her head. And then
also the days when we could spell things out to each other, and now she can spell.
Yeah.
That's inconvenient.
Yeah. Apart from that time, you... oh, doesn't matter. Carry on.
Are we getting off the Disney subjects?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that anecdote was.
I was going to tell a joke, but I was actually ripping it off someone else, so I thought best not.
Okay. So... the temporary food chalets have come down the Plaster Ruby for their food festival. Now, if you're familiar with Epcot Food Festival, this is nothing like that. It's a lot smaller. It's a lot more niche. It's very, very French food, Christmas-inspired food. But I do like that they've got a summer food festival and a winter food festival, because the winter one is... You've got little pots of beef bourguignon. You've got...
Bourguignon.
You've got raclette cheeses. Really good, proper French, hearty winter stuff. I got some little lamb cutlets that I just stood and ate in the middle of Disneyland Paris like a lollipop. It was really good. But my favourite thing about this is it is guaranteed open snack places in the Studios Park.
Yeah.
Now, if you followed all our August trip, our vlogs and our rants on this show, there was a massive problem with finding food. Ridiculous problem with finding food. And so they have that on peak times in the middle of the summer holidays, and then at winter they just open 8 dedicated food huts. It's brilliant.
You know, Finding Nemo. This is Finding Noms.
It's worse than that, though.
Nomos.
Because people didn't wave
Is this good stuff?
Nemo in front of Marlon. This has got food trucks everywhere with pictures of food everywhere.
Sorry, that was the mic. Carry on.
That wouldn't happen if Chris was here. And none of it's open. It's so frustrating. However, I'm looking on the positive. I don't know when it's open, Beth. Oh, the Dunn family are here. Hello, Dunn. I don't know when it's open, Beth, who's going on Thursday. Hopefully it'll be open when... Oh, no, I do. Hang on. I wrote it down. It goes from November the 13th to March the 20th. What day is it? Oh, it opens in 6 days. I don't know how long you're going for, Beth, but you might actually get the opening day of the food festival. And I would recommend going there for your dinner or your tea or your lunch or your 11s, because there's some good stuff. And mulled wine and... winter stuff. I like it. I would never plan a trip around it. I wouldn't say, oh, we have to go at that time because the food festival's on. However, when we were there in January, and January is a bit grim, if by all accounts, it was a lift, wasn't it? That little area down there, having those chalets.
It smells Christmassy when it's not Christmas. If you just want a little taste of Christmas. Yeah. When did we go last time when it was there?
End of January.
Because I will have said, oh, it seems really Christmassy, but it wasn't that long after Christmas. I feel like it was like another time, like in summer.
Oh, they do have food festival in summer.
Yeah.
They didn't this year. They have it sort of, it runs to like the middle of July or something.
Beth in the chat was just saying, boom. Was that the noise of the mic when I moved it, or was it something else? Who knows? We'll find out later. Yeah.
Christmas starts on the 13th, so we plan the trip to be there for the start of Crimbo. Good girl. That is smart thinking.
Do you know when Christmas starts in my house? The 6th of November.
So that's yesterday.
Yep, it's Christmas.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, we were talking about Christmas shopping today, so...
We've been Christmas shopping.
Yeah, it's going on. Now, speaking of which, let's just have a little interlude to admire Lucy's new cardigan.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Now, Lucy is demonstrating, listeners, a white cardigan with it's like, you know, like a loose wool knit. It's got an embroidered Mickey Mouse on it, and it also says 28 and Mickey Mouse. Now,
it's got that preppy style.
It's
with the
preppy.
stripes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna dob Lucy and I'm gonna drop her in here. Just before the show started, she said, "What do you think the 28 signifies?" And I was like, "Oh, Lucy, it's 1928, isn't it?"
I was having a moment.
She was having a moment. We spotted this in Primark. How much was it? £18.
Yes.
I think it was £18. I spotted it on a rack. It wasn't where it was supposed to be, but someone had left it. And Lucy looked over, and I just sort of like grabbed it and sort of like let it swing so it would catch her eye. You know, rather than going, "Do you like this?" I just sort of let her find it herself by making it move, and then her eyes lit up. And I was like, yeah, I thought you'd like that.
I got a little hungry look in my eyes.
She did, yeah.
I know we've previously moaned about our rubbish Primarks nearby, and I remember someone saying, "Oh, you need to come down south. We've got really big Primarks." It's not a north-south thing. We don't live in a field. We just happen to be 10 minutes away from quite a small Primark and feel disappointed. But today, we drove half an hour to a big Primark.
It's pretty big, is the White Rose Centre one.
It's pretty.
It's medium.
It doesn't have the stock that Meadowhall had today.
No, that is really big.
And I was really excited. There was some good stuff. I could have spent a lot.
Since the Disney stores have closed, a lot of these shops have just upped their Disney game. Even like, you know, Asda.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw. I think I tweeted it. Did I tweet it the other day? The Mickey and Minnie sort of the 90s blouses that I saw in Asda. I think I like them more than you, even though they're like ladies' blouses. But there was something really 90s about them, like, you know, really appealing. I love a Mickey Mouse 90s Christmas, just because I had that Christmas tape.
Yeah.
The 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah, we had that.
Just makes me think of that, and it's got a dark green cover, and it was a dark green blouse. Yeah. Dunn Family says, our Primark has Disney Cafe going on Saturday. Oh. Mark Riley says, Primark is not a sponsor. Not yet. not yet.
Can you imagine if we were sponsored by Primark? Can you imagine the swag we'd get? That would be amazeballs.
Yeah.
So they've got all the Christmas ornaments in now, and a couple of years ago they did an advent calendar with Disney baubles in that we got, very popular, and they've leaned into it hard now, and they've got some really good Toy Story baubles and every colour of Mickey head bauble, every size you can imagine. Good stuff. If you're near a big Primark, it's good. Right, that is all I've got in the news.
That was the news and the waffle.
The news and the waffle.
Now,
There'll be more waffle.
Yeah.
And tidbits. I think those were tidbits, not waffles.
Or crumbs.
Or crumbs. Yeah. Okay, so
Crumbs on the chest of life.
we're going to have a
life.
little chat about Village Nature. Okay? So,
Right. Shall I read that letter that we got from from Cam? Because this was sent ages ago. Chris sent us it before we went, and I sort of skimmed it and I thought, do you know what? I'm not sure I want to read this because it was quite negative, and sometimes you don't want to hear a load of negative things about the place you're going to, do you? So I skimmed it and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to wait till we get back. But actually, the stuff he said, it's disappeared. I have to search for it again. Right, hang on. Carry on.
I'm gonna give a little bit of background about our Village Nature trip, and I know that I've kind of talked about this on the show before, but we've never ever considered going to Village Nature in the past because we're a big fan of staying in the Disney bubble and walking to the parks. And then when we got the annual passes to save money, we would stay off-site and alternate on-site and off-site. And if you go to Village Nature, you get neither because it's expensive, so you don't save money, and it's not in the Disney bubble. So we really never considered it. Now, after the first lockdown, we were going to do a summer 2020 trip, and we're like, this is replacing all our family holidays for this year because we hadn't been able to go anywhere or do anything. And so we decided we'll stay at Village Nature and go to Disneyland Paris and have a bit of relaxing family vacation time as well. So that's the decision behind going. And I think that's really important when you review the resort, is think why you're there. And that didn't happen. But when we came to book a 2021 holiday, it literally replaced a Florida holiday because we had one for the same dates and it was cancelled, so we just booked Paris instead. And we did it for the same reasons. We didn't want a 3-day Disneyland Paris holiday, we wanted a week-long big stay, and we invited friends, and they've got larger accommodations, so that's why we went. And then Hugh's got his thing.
So this is from Fixit Fox on Twitter. So that's at Fix_it_Fox. Fixit Fox underscores in between the words. He sent us this. So there was some stuff at the start about Nordic showers, which sounds like they'd rebranded the broken showers and called them Nordic showers, which just meant they were cold. But he said later in the message, just a few subjects for your perusal. General cleanliness of cabin. We've had dirty floors and a horrendous smell of smoke on previous visits. When we turned up,
hang on, we've got bullet points. Just read all of it.
Okay.
Refer back.
Right. Food. We've never been to the restaurants. We'll be interested in a review or two, but this small supermarket was well stocked. Transfer to the park. We've always driven, so we'll be interested in how we got to the park. I think a monorail would be good, but as yet they have not taken my advice. The upkeep of the pool area. With the pandemic shut down, I expect the broken glass panels and damaged doors to be repaired. Outside lighting, we found it quite dark. They put up some festoon lights near the entrance to the pool building as people were falling down the steps. Pool access, how are they controlling guest numbers in the pool? So that was it for the main points.
We can read the next bits about...
He says, we love going there and I'd booked for last December, as yet not rebooked, waiting until we don't have to do the testing thing. I'm hoping they've used the shutdown to fix some of the teething problems. If I could offer one piece of advice, it would be the floor in the locker area of the changing room is lethal. Take care walking in that area. As Bon Jovi tried to warn us, it's slippery when wet. I just instinctively knew to take it very... I waddled in there, with my wet feet. I waddled. And also, when we went back in with wet feet, Bonnie had already fallen over and gashed her leg on a step. So, she was waddling anyway.
Yeah.
So, should we address some of these points then?
As they come up.
Okay, all right.
Because I've got a little thing.
She's got a little thing.
I do show notes.
Go on.
I put effort into this. So the first thing I want to talk about is location and transport, and that's why I kind of needed to give some background. Now, it's right next to Davy Crockett Ranch, and Davy Crockett Ranch specifies when you book it that you must have a car. It specifies there is not transport provided. This is for people with a car only. So when we stayed there, we had a car. When we went to Village Nature, we didn't. Now, the only transport there is from Village Nature to the parks is a public bus, not a shuttle bus, a public numbered French transport system bus. So you had to get on and pay was it €2 each?
It was €2 each.
€2 each, get your little ticket, all that. And then you went all the way through Chessy. You went through some business parks. There were people getting on and off, going to work.
It's kind of nice to go through that little... Because it's like a brand new town that's popped up in the middle of nothing, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? I grew to really love that journey because it's a bit of a wind down at the end of the night. You're staring out the window. You get to recognise the same houses. However... It says 20 to 25 minutes there. I think it could be up to half an hour there and back. Also, the buses are... Well, coming back, they were definitely every half hour because there was a timetable. Going, there wasn't really a timetable. We just rocked up and there was always a bus there, so I don't know if they're more regular.
There was a timetable. To go there.
Okay.
There was, because we...
Oh, yeah.
Because we looked at it.
Because I went and got it from the Welcome Centre. Okay, sorry, so there was a timetable. But it is a downfall. I wouldn't say stay there, don't worry, there's a bus, you'll be fine. It's a half-hour bus journey there and a half-hour bus journey back, so it does add an hour to your day.
Doesn't feel like a great length of time, though.
No, it's not the worst thing.
And you say half an hour,
used to it.
20 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah, depending on the time of day, how busy it is, how many stops they make. If you ride buses, you know what we're saying. And it's a nice enough journey. The kids got a bit of a relaxation and a wind down. You know, it was all right, but it's a thing. It's a thing. So if you're contemplating going, you might want to factor that in. Be ready for it. Be financially ready for it.
How long's the shuttle bus from Magic Circus? About
5 minutes.
10 minutes.
Well,
5-10 minutes.
There's 5, I think, hotels on one slip road. Campanile, Magic Circus.
It's like an explorer.
Yeah. An explorer's hotel, that's right. And then the Magic Castle. And the shuttle bus stops at all of them. So it very much depends which hotel you're at. Once it leaves that slip road, it's 3-4 minutes. It goes, doesn't it? So it kind of depends on how many people are getting on and off and stuff. But that is more convenient than this. I think this was... And like Hugh says, I don't want us to be like, oh, it was awful. It wasn't. We were absolutely fine, but it was a problem. So that answers. If you're going to drive, even better. Yeah. So, but you are away. The pro of the location is you're away from everything. And it really did feel like the middle of nowhere. It's Village Nature, and it is like you're in a forest.
Yeah.
Which is gorgeous.
We weren't just using it. You don't just use this as a bed. You sort of... We had a couple of days just, at the resort.
And it's run by Centre Parks, if you didn't know that. So if you've ever been to a Centre Parks, it's that kind of setup.
Which we haven't. Well, I have never been.
No, I haven't.
No.
So, the accommodation, right, do you want to address what you said about cleanliness then?
Cleanliness. The minute we turned up, so we get there, we're looking around. As soon as we got in, there was a stink to the place. It smelled sewagey, didn't it? Sewagey. And it took a couple of hours...
Not overpowering, just...
No, but it stunk.
Yeah.
And it took a few hours for that to go away, but it did go away. We looked in the fridge. There was little hard pieces of rice from a curry. Just little discoloured rice that had been in a curry that had gone hard that was in the fridge. So the fridge hadn't been cleaned. There were chips. That's fries to any American people listening. Just in a cupboard. Just loose chips. So whoever...
Like McDonald's chips.
Whoever cleaned the place had really done a terrible job, hadn't they?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a great start. The showers have been fixed because they weren't Nordic. Now, well, it depends where these Nordic showers were, because we were in one of the
comfort cottages.
Called cottages. Cottage doesn't really describe what it was it? It was kind of a modernish building in the woods type of thing.
It's all clad and wooden to sort of blend in with its environments, but it's got a feel of a modern condo as opposed to a...
Wasn't there some kind of stain on the walls? Or am I getting that mixed up with the Legoland restaurant?
I don't remember stain on the walls. I do remember, and again, we're giving this review to you. None of this really bothers us too much. The stink did a bit. But the sofas had that grub of 1 million children, and the sofa being probably about 5-6 years old, however old the resort is. That general feel of wear and tear was there. They weren't in the best nick. There was some paintwork that was scuffed and might need a bit of a do. One thing I will say is there were a handful of spiders. Now, the thing is, you're out in the woods. They've deliberately made it... There's wildflowers everywhere. There's grass everywhere. There's trees everywhere. And then these are like prefab things, and you've got double French doors opening to a patio. So I suppose the odd daddy long legs is a bit inevitable. There's no criticism I can give. However, again, if people are planning a trip there, kind of need to know that's... Expect that.
What was under the bed, which we didn't notice in Cat and Brookie's bed, that they found on the last day?
Oh, was it a biscuit or something like that?
It was a biscuit.
It was a biscuit.
Now, Brookie loves biscuits, but not one that's been under his bed for at least a week.
Yeah. I did read somewhere where someone said the walls are paper thin. I didn't find that when we were downstairs as adults chatting. I think we did keep the kids awake a tiny bit.
Okay.
But that's more because the stairwell went up. But we didn't hear our neighbours either side, particularly. At all, in fact.
No, one day a kid ran to the patio doors, obviously thinking it was maybe next door or something, and he ran up all excited and banged on the glass. And we were like, who's he? And then the minute he saw us, his face dropped and he backed away and he disappeared. He was terrified of us. He just thought, you're not my mummy and daddy.
He was expecting his mummy and daddy.
Bless him though. He rang up like surprise. You're not who I thought you were.
I really hope he found his cabin.
Some say if you listen carefully, you can still hear him calling for his mummy and daddy.
Oh, Huey, stop with yourself.
On a quiet night.
So it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom thing. This was one of the draws because 2 families were going. If you are a larger family, if you are an extended family, travelling multi-generationally, etc., really good choice for that purpose, because the only other option you've got is Davy Crockett Ranch, and that only has 2 bedrooms tops because all the cabins are the same. So it was a good choice for that reason. And we had a fully stocked kitchen. We could get up in the morning, we could sit at the table, have the breakfast. Do you know what I was thinking today when I thought pros and cons? This could be either a pro or a con. When we stay in a hotel that's just got a bed and a sink, well, obviously it's more than that, but you get the idea. When we get up in the morning, we put our clothes on and leave. And then we brush our teeth, etc. But we put our clothes on, wash our face, do our hair and leave. And then go find breakfast elsewhere and we're out. Now, when you've got a cottage, we would get up, put the television on, get some cereal, sit and chat, eat the cereal. Do you know, it was just a slower start to the day. Now, you could see this as a pro or a con. I think it was nice with younger children, and because we were travelling with friends, we had that relaxed feel. But we are rope drop to kick out time generally at the parks, aren't we? And so this was a little different for us. Not different bad, just a different pace.
Hi, Mark Chester.
I also saw David Wilson that we haven't said hello to, I think.
Oh, sorry, David. Oh, yeah, there he is. Right, Caitlin's asking, are there options like Uber or Lyft in the area?
Yes, both. Well, not Uber, I think.
Yeah.
We've never used it in France, but I do know it's there because I looked at it as an option from the airport.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting a private
transfer.
Or,
as we used to call them in the old days, just a taxi.
Taxis. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember taxis?
Yeah, do you remember like memorising about 5 different numbers, and then on a Saturday night you'd try the first one, they'd say 45 minutes, you'd try the
46
second.
0000.
Yeah. All the rest of it. Right. Food and supermarket. That kind of takes us on to food and the supermarket. First things first, you only get one toilet roll in each bathroom and you have to buy your own. And you're going to run out of that toilet roll fairly quickly.
Oh, yes.
So one of the first things we had to do was go to the supermarket and buy a 6-pack of toilet roll.
Get the bog roll.
Just do it. Or if you're well prepared, because I'm sure they do a bit of a markup, although it wasn't that expensive, that supermarket, was it?
Do you know what? When I'm on holiday, I don't do the equations. I
No.
just get what we need.
Yeah.
I just put up with it because what am I going to do? Like not buy toilet roll and
Exactly.
water. I just.
But if you can and you've got a car, you might go to a Leclerc or something on the way and get your water, your toilet roll, and your necessities. But there's a pretty well stocked supermarket there. I say well stocked. It's French, and so. It's not the products you expect.
Careful.
No.
All right. I thought you were going to complain about.
No, I wasn't going to complain about anything. I was just going to say it's not the products you expect, and they're not laid out in the order you expect. That's all. Because you can pretty much go in any Tesco, Co-op, Sainsbury's, and know which things would be grouped together. We did find a lot of wandering around.
What was that supermarket? I've got a bag. I'm going to find that bag. Keep talking.
Yeah. So there's that there, and we got some big, massive litre bottles of water for us to drink. I don't think there's anything wrong with the water, but when abroad, you may as well. Tastes nice, keep it in the fridge. What is it?
Well, I'm going to do the big reveal.
Okay. And they had a salad bar. Oh, Franprix.
Franprix.
Is that a chain? I don't know if that's a chain. Someone want to tell me?
It looks
It
chainy.
looks chainy, doesn't it?
I bet it's a chain. Come on.
Yeah. They had a salad bar a la Morrison's where you can get your salad, and that obviously, and that was quite a good lunch option. We did that twice. The second time, we kind of got our pots and started filling up, and then realised nearly everything was empty. So I don't know if they've got staffing issues or supply issues that we've got, but it is a good light lunch.
I went to that salad bar one day. I was like, right, come on. We're on holiday. We're having a lot of Disney parks food. I'm going to get a salad. And there was so little of, like, all the good things had gone. There was, like, a little bit of rocket.
Even, like, there were no lettuce.
And then there was some couscous with, like, raisins in it, sultanas in it or something. And I just looked at it and I thought, oh, come on. So I put it back and I got, like, a pasta pot or something,
but the first time I went for it, it was good and it was well stocked.
Yeah.
I might have got it enough time.
Mark O'Reilly's saying it's a huge chain.
Oh, okay.
You know. We don't know.
We
don't know.
We're
We don't know.
We're new here. We do Disney. So, right, the restaurants on
It's like
the
going,
site.
oh, you haven't heard of Sainsbury's?
The restaurants on the site then. There was there's a Vapiano's. There was a creperie. I'm going to show we really should have done this research, but there was a proper sit-down restaurant, which I can't remember the name of and I wish I could.
Find out.
A burger bar.
The burger bar was called Mayam
Burger, and a bakery. So those are your 5 options. Now we have experiences of 4 of those. We really didn't have anything to do with the sit-down French restaurant, so we can't speak to that. The creperie, we tried to go at lunchtime and we walked up in good faith and we sat down and the waitress came over, no pad or anything. She said, look, there's a table over there, 14 people have just sat down, so we're not going to be able to serve you for 45 minutes, an hour.
She said there's a big group and they got here just before you, so it's going to be sort of 40 minutes. Fair enough. Well, but like, what else are they going to do?
Well, thing is, in the UK, they've got a table of 2 and a table of 14. They would serve table of 3. They would serve the table of 3 either before or simultaneously to the 14. But she was... there was a body language thing. She was almost saying... She
wanted us gone.
Yeah, so just go away. She went, there's a table of 14.
I don't think she was cross at us, though. I think
you're gonna have to wait... and she was like that, and we're like, should we go then?
I think it's irresponsible of a group of 14 people to turn up at a restaurant at once. Like, if ever I go on a stag party or an ale trail, if like a dozen of us get off the train, 15 of us get off the train at once, we can't all just go to the bar. So I always encourage, maybe when I used to smoke, like the smokers would hang back first, let one group go in, all swamp in a bar. And it was the same with this, like, come on guys, 14 of you all at once.
But I mean,
it was at this Cepage, this other place.
Yes, it was. That's exactly it.
Cepage.
Yeah. My hamburger was a burger bar, which was perfectly adequate, with perfectly adequate service and perfectly adequate atmosphere.
Yep.
I'm not going to rave about it, but it is an option that I would recommend you use if you're there. You wouldn't travel to it, but
I'm going to rave about it.
Oh, go on.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So I'm just trying to read the chat at the same time. I'm sorry if we're not responding to the chat. It's very hard when there's only two of us to actually read and talk at the same time. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway.
Well, Mark's saying, so you're not going back? Oh, we would go back.
To where? Village Nature?
I think that's what it's talking about.
We haven't got to the end of our review yet, Mark.
You'll see.
You'll see. The bakery, we actually... One member of our party went there every morning of our stay, including the days we were going to the park, to get croissants and good coffee. If you hit it at the wrong time, there'd be a long queue. If you hit it at the right time, there'd be no queue. This is pre-9 a.m. kind of thing. There was probably a rush at like 8 o'clock or something.
A very strange vibe when we went in there the first time. Like, they just... Do you know when someone doesn't immediately sort of... You walk in, you look around, and they just let you... they don't come over and say, you can sit down or you can order here. They just let us just go, we don't... And we didn't know what to do, did we? No,
we couldn't work out if there was a menu that you asked for. We couldn't work out what was in the fridges, what you were meant to do. We couldn't... It was strange. And
it wasn't a language barrier thing. It was just they just didn't care about us.
Yeah.
They did not care for us.
And they mill around a lot. We've talked about the just general French service industry. I just think it's that difference in culture, different way
of life.
Yeah, more or less.
We're very uptight, and we need help.
And we need queues. We need queues and barriers and rules. There was a bit of a
queue.
Yeah,
queue was all right. Oh, and that's where I had the Diablo Mont slushy. It was what colour was it? Was it blue or no? Well, it was green, wasn't it? Well, it would be because it was month flavour, and it turned my poo blue.
You didn't tell me that.
Like properly blue. The next day, I was like, "What is going on here?" I was like, "That is very strange." And then I thought, "Oh, it was that."
Usually you tell me if you have an unusual bowel movement. Was it because we had friends there?
I don't. Trust me, people watching and listening, I don't, because some weird things happen in there.
Okay. And then the last one was Vapiano's. We did go there for a full group meal. They'd closed off the inside because of COVID, so it was outside only, but the atmosphere, the tables, the seating area was really pleasant. And what they'd done is they'd kind of pushed a table up to the door, so you went to the door to order, and I didn't order, so how did that work?
Kiefer's here. Hi, Kiefer. Do you know what? I keep saying this, but when we went to the one at Disneyland Paris, it was one of the most difficult ordering experiences of my life. I didn't have a clue what to do in there. This one was a bit better. I can't remember what you do though. You sort of, what'd you do?
You all had pizzas. I know for my pasta, I had to choose the sauce, choose the protein, choose the pasta, I think
you go inside and order it at the till.
Usually.
You sit down, then you go and order it at the till, then you go sit back down, they bring it to you. I'm not sure what was so difficult about the one at the actual park. I had to do something, I had to wait around, and it was very, very confusing. This was a little easier this time. We sat outside and it was nice, wasn't it?
But I had a pasta dish. I think it was like a mushroom pasta, can't remember, but it was really good. A really good simple sauce pasta, but it was a really good one.
My pizza had Persil in it. I don't know what that is, but over here that's a detergent.
And we had a kids meal and we asked for a bottle of water and they gave us a litre bottle of water.
Like a nice bottle of water.
Yeah, a nice bottle of, not sparkling, I don't think, but that kind of glass-topped screw bottle of water.
I seem to remember having great difficulty getting, was it a mousse? Yeah, it was mousse. And he misheard it as ice cream.
Oh. I think, right, just to wrap up the food, Vapiano's was good. I enjoyed it. The salad bar, very good lunch option. But in general, if we went again, I probably would choose to drive if we went again. And if we did that, I think I might bring a lot more for the kitchen. Because what we really wanted most of the time was packed lunch stuff when we were doing the activities, which we're going to come on to later. And then you've got an option for your evening meal, or you can go back to Disneyland Paris where there's lots of options. But I think that would be my main recommendation. Although it was quite nice to have a walk at 7:30 in the morning to go get croissant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So actually, I just enjoyed the ritual of doing that. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
We were just far enough away for it to be, because one morning, was it a morning or was it during the day? We were just far enough away that like to walk there and back was a good sort of 15-minute round trip. And one day I got all the way to the supermarket and realised I'd forgotten my mask. Had to go all the way. It was the furthest point I could have gone before realising this, and having to go all the way back and then back again and then back again. It was a long trip.
But I mean, Hugh just said about a 15-minute round trip. That means it's 7 minutes each way, and a 7-minute walk to. I mean, you can get hotels where it's 7 minutes to the lobby. If you're on a really long corridor and you've got, so it wasn't that bad, even though it felt like a full town. Right, so activities, swimming, and resort days. Right, this, in my opinion, is where this resort comes into its own. The other three things we've had to say have had a lot of cons. This is nothing but pros for me. The Aqua Lagoon, first of all. I can't remember who... Fit Foxy or something? Who sent us that letter? Am I being rubbish?
Fix It Fox.
Fix It Fox. Fix It Fox said about broken glass and this, that. I don't know what was going on when he was there. The place was immaculate when we were there.
Yeah, it was fine.
For the first time we went in, we took our packed lunch in, thinking there'd be somewhere we could stop and eat, and then we realised we just went straight into a wet changing room, and we're like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't take food in here. So we went out and ate it first. But then you've got your little band that you use to open the hotel doors, and you use those for the lockers. Yeah,
they were like really like the most basic magic band you can imagine, which was just a grey strap with a flat magnet inside it somewhere. Depressing.
They were really easy to use, and it was a family changing area, and it was just really easy to use and navigate. And then the water park is amazing, and there's something for every age and taste. I think that's what's important. There was little tiny baby areas that you could take tiny infants on. Bonnie had a whale of and often you get that, and then you get the great big papa slides, but you don't get things in between. There was a really good splash pad with some really good medium-sized slides for your 7-year-olds, your 8-year-olds, and then they had some a selection of epic water slides, didn't they? Some really and surprising ones you went down on inner tubes.
Yeah. One I went down, I didn't know this was happening, and all of a sudden I was going down this tube, like enjoying it, and then it suddenly opens out into this giant half pipe, and I remember like shouting like, "What?" as I went round, and then you go up the side, and then you go up the other side, and you eventually settle, and then you go back down out the little tube at the end. And I didn't know that was coming, and it was crazy when it happened.
So really, if you're a thrill seeker in the water park world, there's lots there. They've got racing slides that you go down without a matter of half pipe. They've got the massive one that goes over the top of the whole thing. Excuse me. They've got ones I don't think we went on that might not have been open that day. I seem to see some tubes I didn't think we'd gone in. And then they've got a wave pool, which is on every half hour, but that's a nice big swimming pool area that Brookie actually did a couple of lengths in. When it's not the half hour, then on the half hour you get great big waves, and it's got a 0 entry bit, which is nice, just paddle and play in. We all played in there. They've got the outside area that's got like these assault courses. It's got little spray guns. It's got a lazy river. It had a really good sort of wide, steep slide that you went off, that we all did like 2 or 3 times. We just kept taking it in turns to go up and do it.
Yeah, it was great.
It was really good. Really good.
Beth is asking where to eat in the actual park, which is quite a big question for today. But actually,
no, we will answer that in a bit, Beth.
But Mark seems to be dealing with it a bit there in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Giving some like, you know.
And I see you said try Lucky Nugget Saloon. I second that, because it's table service at quick service prices. The atmosphere is brilliant. The food's good.
Although Max also saying wasn't it weird being in the pool together with unmasked strangers? It was a bit actually, because masks everywhere, and all of a sudden it's just you're in a water in an inoculatory pool, just all swimming around together with little chicken bits floating about. Apparently,
the chlorine is meant to kill it though.
Yeah.
Apparently. And it wasn't that busy. They were saying, how are they regular? Because I did hear in 2020, when they reopened briefly then, that you were having to book times for the Aqua Lagoon. We saw no evidence of regulating how busy it was. Now, it might be that they had a capacity, because you had to go through turnstiles, so they know how many people are going in and out, that they had a capacity and they would have stopped it if it had reached it. But we certainly didn't have any hoops to jump through in terms of that.
I wonder if there's a good episode we can direct Beth back. Have we done like a favourite restaurants episode?
I bet Chris could look it up. Chris, if you're still there, would you be able to... Have we done food? We've done a few foodie ones.
Yeah. Although she said she'd been listening to old episodes. But yeah, just in general. Just quickly. What's your favourite restaurant?
I would always go for Lucky Nugget if we're going for quick service. For sit down, well, Plaza Garden's just easy to do, isn't it?
Although it's buffet.
And if you're up for spending money, Captain Jack's. And in fact, I've done a vlog of Captain Jack's that was only up, I think, the week before last. So that's quite a recent one.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And I just like Chateau de la Marionnette.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
For the bratwurst, currywurst hot dogs and chips and things.
And for a sit-down atmosphere, get out of the heat kind of thing, there's a really good area at the back of Colonel Hathis. Not the main bit at the front, go through it and go out the back door, and there's a little secret area that's really lovely to sit in. Wouldn't recommend the food at Colonel Hathis.
Don't tell everybody.
Just nice to be there.
It's a secret.
We go the 24th this is Broken Street. Broken ST. We go 24th for 5 nights, so we'll be there at the same time. The Dunn family. Oh, have a little meet-up. Staying at Cheyenne. I suddenly got the other day when I was pricing up holidays, which I do on a depressingly regular basis. I thought I'm ready to go back to Cheyenne again, because it was our hotel of choice for a long time. And then we thought, we've never stayed there. We want to try stay there. Oh, let's try this. Let's make this different. And we start to do different things. But it was our hotel of choice for a long time.
When you've got a very young child, because Bonnie was she almost 2 when we first went?
To Cheyenne.
Yeah, so...
well, we went, obviously, before she was born.
So she won't remember what it's like. So for her, it'll be like going all over again for the first time. So you kind of get to cash in on that again. Anyway, we're running out of time.
We are. So other activities that we did den building in the forest. That was euphoric.
Euphoric.
Thing is, the reason I love going on Disney holidays is it's something that we do as a family and we all enjoy and we bond over it. Now this was the 3 of us, no distractions, no iPads or whatever the cliche is, a pile of twigs, and someone said build a den, and we worked together and we were a little bit creative. We had a lot of fun with it.
I give it a crown.
Oh yeah, it was like the perfect family activity. I can't stress that enough. It was really well done. We also did miniature golf.
It's bivouacking basically, isn't it?
Bivouacking is what we used to call it.
That's not what anyone called it there. Oh, it's hard to find though, wasn't it? It was like it was in this place called like the Forbidden Forest or something. And, and we had to we just spotted someone in the distance in the woods, and we're like, I think
she was just sitting on a stump.
Yeah.
And we're like, do you think that's her?
Yeah, she wasn't like playing a flute.
Yeah. She could have been the posture she was in.
Go where the dwarves seldom tread.
We did miniature golf. Wasn't the best miniature golf we've ever done. We love miniature golf. We've done loads. But it was, for where it was, the atmosphere, the surroundings, it was nice and it was well sort of laid out. So that were fine.
Have we mentioned the park next to that?
Oh, that was the forbidden.
The best park, like
Adventure Playground.
Adventure Playground for kids. We got there and it's just they've got these insanely big slides for kids, and Bonnie was loving it.
And they look, the way it's designed is it's all ropes and wood and natural materials. It looks like it's just been put there by Ewoks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really good.
It was sort of like a magical theme to it. Like the sort of ropes were almost dream catchery, and it was teepee-ish.
Yeah.
It was very cool. So we went there a couple of times. We did mini golf.
I just said that.
Right.
The little ones, we had Bonnie with us, who we talk about a lot, who we haven't mentioned too much, is Peter, who was just gone 3. Actually, no, 3.5-ish when we went. And they rented a little mini Jeep that they got for half an hour. And it's like a proper pedals, steering wheel, go for it Jeep, and we just let them drive around the resort.
They give us an emergency button to stop them, because
stop them going in ditches.
There wasn't there a bit where there was cars were using the same road that we were on?
Yeah, well, golf buggies. Oh yeah, there were some cars.
I think there was one bit of road we went on.
Yeah,
which sounds really dodgy, but it wasn't. It was fine.
Yeah,
it was safe. Sort of.
Bonnie says she's talked about it today. That was my highlight of that holiday. She loved it, absolutely loved it. Peter, he loved it at the time. He probably doesn't remember it now. He's a little. There was this like farm area. Now we didn't do any of the activities there, but they do have petting zoo times when you can go and pet things. They have pony rides. They have like story time on a stage. We didn't do any of that, but we did go visit the farm area, and it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And I think that's also the area where they do stuff like chocolate making, terrarium building. They had like a little herb garden, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Gorgeous stuff like that. All based around conservation and nature, which is lovely. I think those are the 3 activities we did.
Yeah.
We walked around that garden area.
They all cost a bit though. Like when we watched the video today of it, and when you said on your vlog how much the golf was, I was like, that's quite a bit, isn't it? How much was it for the 3 of us?
27 euros.
Yeah, to play mini golf. That's quite a bit.
It was, yeah. For the kind of mini golf it was as well. We've paid that for mini golf before, but you tend to get these big experiences in the, like went to Escape and stuff like that.
Like tiki or dinosaur themed golf.
This was quite a.
It was cute. It had
nice.
It was like wooden creature based things. It had these wooden carvings, so it was nice, and it was a good mini golf. But I don't think it was 27 euros good.
All these activities that we've mentioned are paid extras, and if we went again, I would be doing every activity I could be doing. But I would need to budget that into my holiday budget. I would need to know in advance, right, I need to put aside this much money for activities, because I think that's where a lot of the enjoyment comes on a holiday like this. But it adds up. You can't go, oh, we've paid for it, and then turn up and go, oh no, look, penny pinching. Just part of it. But I cannot stress enough, and if you've been to Centre Parks in the UK, you know how good these activities are, how well designed they are for families of mixed ages, how well organised they are. Just brilliant from start to finish.
Yeah.
Right. So that brings me on to my final point. Overview and would you go again?
Oh, we haven't discussed there's like parks you can just walk through as well, little park areas, like a little maze you can go in, a tiny maze.
Well, there was this entire garden. Was it called Garden of Enchantment, I think?
What was it now?
Yeah, I literally just edited the vlog a couple of days ago and I've already forgotten.
Jardin Extraordinaire.
Jardin
Extraordinary Gardens.
And it was divided into air, water, wind and fire.
Jardin Extraordinaire.
And it took us about half an hour, 45 minutes to just walk through all of it. They've got sculptures, they've got different plants, it's all themed. It's a real explorer's garden.
Yep.
There's so much there. That was brilliant.
Yeah. And you did say as well on your vlog that they've gone for a kind of an overgrown, unkempt aesthetic. Like, it's a bit more wild gardeny, wildflower, wild gardeny than, like, manicured, isn't it? Which is kind of nice.
I will just mention about activities. We didn't do any of these, but there is bowling, and then there's a big activity centre. There's escape rooms, bowling, big activity centre that's got like climbing walls. We didn't go in. It's got karaoke. It's got video game walls. It's got like assault courses, soft play kind of things. From what I gather, there's all sorts in there. And that's kind of going to come in when I give my overview. Mm-hmm. Would we go again? Yes, for me. But it would be under very specific circumstances. We
got a good deal on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was very cheap.
We would need a good deal again.
Was it like half price?
Yes, it was. It was 50% off. What's the opposite of an early bird? Last minute deal, basically. Because our Florida holiday didn't get
late
cancelled
slug
till the beginning of August.
Of early bird.
And we were meant to be going on the 21st of August. I think we were 3 weeks away from going to Florida. So we got this last minute deal. That's number one. Number two is we would need to be wanting and have time for a full family holiday where we were going to spend 2 or 3 days at the resort. It is not a good place for a base for Disneyland Paris holiday if that's all you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's an excellent base if you plan on doing that 3 days out of the 7.
We stayed at a hotel in Chessy that was awful, and you would only use it as a bed.
Yeah. But it was...
For example.
It was €50 a night, though. It was like, and that's why... And we literally got there at 8 p.m, slept, and got back up at 7, didn't we? And it was about going to Disneyland Paris. So you wouldn't use it as a base for Disneyland Paris unless you were doing other things. So if we wanted a full family holiday, we would go. Now, the reason I mentioned things is I don't know about winter. They've set it up so that they've got these indoor activities. So I don't want to discount it. If there's anyone in the chat who's been in winter, let me know what you think about it. But I imagine the foliage would be a bit drab compared to what we experienced, which was just breathtakingly beautiful. And that would be one thing that would draw me back, would be the foliage. And then a lot of the activities just might not work for you. The walking distances between things, like we say, we find them quite manageable. It's not miles. But there was one morning when it poured with rain, and we just said, should we wait an hour before we go out? Because it's long walks, So that's my thoughts. Huey?
Yes, I would go again. I think I've said, you need a couple of days in the actual resort itself. I'm not sure I don't know if it would be quite as desirable if it was at full price. I'd have to really question that. I think I'd rather just spend the money and stay in the Disney bubble.
Yeah.
Mark was asking which was the awful hotel we stayed in Chessy, but I can't
Ibis budget.
Oh, was it?
Thing is, they've got the Ibis, and then they've got the Ibis budget, and it's like an L shape.
Oh, yeah.
And we went in one lobby, and it was like, looking all good. Yeah, and then you go down this stairwell, and it's like a prison.
Yeah, and that some weird ominous music starts playing, and then there's a guy who's dressed as like a executioner, and he whips you. If you try and go in the nice bit.
Thing is, I would stay there again 100% because of the price. It is the cheapest place I've found in Chessy, and it remains the cheapest place I found in Chessy. And if we want to do our last minute budget trips to get the use out of our annual passes, that's what we're going to do. If we can get that for £100, or we can go to Newport Bay for £700, we're going to go to there, basically.
Are we though?
I would again. I
don't know.
Just for one night.
I hated it.
Oh dear.
I didn't hate it.
Ibis
It's
Tower of
just
Terror.
the bed, wasn't it? Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Who's going for the 30th on the 12th of April booked up? Oh no, don't tell me that, because we were going to go. But I was waiting to see if they announced an opening date for Avengers Campus, because I would rather go for the opening of Avengers Campus. But we are going for a holiday either March or April. Done, family. Question.
I think he's also saying, he or she's also saying that they booked the last trip but changed it to a B&B down the road. Was that this Ibis budget? I'm slagging it off, but it's what it is. It's a bed.
I mean, look, if there was somewhere else nearby that was £10 more, I might go for the somewhere else. But it's far and away the cheapest, and there's a reason. It feels like the cheapest, but that might be where the money goes. Right, I think we've kind of got to the end of that. I was going to have a little, what would you do with the Disney Plus thing, but have we got time? Should we mention
No,
it?
let's save it for another show.
Save it for another time.
We've run over a bit.
Yeah. So the other thing is, while it's not on, Disney Illuminations is on Disney Plus. We put it on today as Bonnie was playing and we were writing our notes. So if you're missing the fireworks, Beth or anyone else, and you want to go on Disney Plus, watch the fireworks on there. It's quite a good recording. Although I prefer the just did fixed camera of something like that. That's how it's meant to be seen. When they start cutting in different angles, it gets a little blah, blah.
As if your experience is like floating around.
Because you're never gonna
on a crane.
They were doing close-up shots of areas of the castle, and the thing is, you're never going to see that with the naked eye, and it wasn't designed to be seen like that. It's meant to be seen from a distance, and I think some of it's worse when it's close-up. That's nitpicking. It's fun. Dunn family watched it last night and loved it. Good people who spend the time watching Disney fireworks on telly. Right, I think I'm feeling a little hyperactive. I think I've yacked on a lot. Shall we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Chris, we miss you. We miss you keeping us two rolled in and making sure the technology works and stopping me bang the table. So see if you can get yourself walking again for next week. But for now, I'm going to say thank you very much for coming. I've been Hugh. This has been Lucy. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Good night, pals.
Do 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 do.